So, recently I had a thought about Soul Eater. Why do I like it? If any of you are familiar with my channel, then you'll know that I've gone on multiple tirades against conventional shonen, and for me to enjoy one it must lean into other genres, like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood having a philosophical element, One Punch Man being a comedic deconstruction, and My Hero Academia becoming more drama-focused. But Soul Eater doesn't do any of that. It's a shonen through and through, with its narrative being decided on the basis of distribution of power amongst its characters, so why is it my second favourite anime series? Well, I thought about this, and the answer came to me. The answer is that the lack of an engaging narrative through line is replaced with style and character. Style over substance, if you will. No doubt you've heard the expression style over substance before, but I should outline what it's going to mean in the context of this video specifically. This video won't be talking about shows like Cowboy Bebop or Devilman Crybaby, which are stylish in their own right, but even without their sense of style in their animation or as good a cast, you'd still have a very interesting story. The shows I'm going to be talking about here are shows that have a mediocre and somewhat generic plot, but decide to focus on their characters and animation instead of the aforementioned plot. Now back onto the topic of Soul Eater. As mentioned, it should feel like a generic shonen, but the first thing that separates it from something like Naruto or Bleach are the visuals. The visuals feel like they are transferred perfectly from the author's intentions, and each location has a distinct identity. Even the sun and moon have their own identity. But of course all of this would go to waste if the characters weren't engaging. Thankfully, Soul Eater has one of my favourite casts in all of anime, with highlights coming from both the humour and the drama. On one side, you have earlier moments in the series where we enjoy the quirky nature of the characters playing off each other, and then you have the latter half of the series, where the characters have nice emotional moments amongst themselves, which is appreciated considering the second half of Soul Eater has more ass-balls than a dirty-minded magician. Oh, and Maka is still best girl. Just thought I'd put that out there. But it isn't just Soul Eater that I plan on talking about for this video, because there's another series that does this, which I've watched recently, and that series is... Hadokoi. Yep, I finally did it. I watched the work that put Studio Shaft on the map and made fans around the world slightly aroused every time they walked into a stationery shop. The Monogatari series is from an equally repetitive genre, that being the harem genre, but Monogatari decides it's going to be a lot less foreplay and more wordplay. For the sake of the video, I'm just going to be talking about the ones I've watched, those being Bake Monogatari and Nisei Monogatari, as I've yet to watch the later ones like Neko Monogatari, Kabuki Monogatari, and Ligma Monogatari. The Monogatari series is another series that isn't really concerned with the importance of its story. To prove the commitment the series has to creating a long-form narrative, I'm going to recreate the Mayoi snail arc, but I'm going to cut out all of the unnecessary conversation. I am in a park.
I am also in a park.
There's a girl over there.
What girl?
Good point. So, what's so unique about the Monogatari series? One interesting thing about it is a focus on language. The name of the first series, Bakemonogatari, is a play on words, as it's a mix between the words Bakemon, meaning monster, and Monogatari, which means verbally annihilating Koyomi Araragi. The editing is also highly stylized, with the aspect ratio changing whenever it feels like it, segments that were seemingly thrown in without any reason, and when it has no ideas for what to put on screen, they just cut to black. I wonder why I like it so much.
I'm not going to get much done by explaining it to you guys, so instead I'm going to do a tutorial on how to make your average scene for Monogatari. I said, I'm going to do a tutorial. Yeah, that's it. Now first, what you need is a background that has no distinguishable natural lighting source. It can be outside, but it cannot show the sun. So if that'll just pop up behind me right now... Yeah, for something that was made in MS Paint, it's decent. What I need now is a secondary character. Did somebody say a secondary character?
This is my good friend Charles. I met him when I helped him get rid of a demon that cursed him with the inability to sync his lips with what he's saying.
I see you're
given me an introduction with multiple shots of me tilting my head. I'm now going to make a statement about wordplay while relevant imagery plays.
I'm going to try and continue the line of conversation you just started while the camera zooms into the top half of my head.
I am now going to use that to insult you, as the words I said are displayed against a pink backdrop.
Shot of me twitching in some bizarre way in objection to what you just said. Now, that could get stale if no changes implemented, but firstly, the acting's much better than what you just saw, and each one of the characters provide enough intrigue to keep it interesting. Apart from Sengoku. Fuck Sengoku. And in a rare turn, the fan service in the show actually tells you more about the characters instead of just being a pair of tits for people to drool over. Although, not to say I don't just do that anyway. Even during some of the more dodgy moments in Nisei Monogatari, the characters still provide insight during these moments. And even in weird moments of Hachikuji, where most would be thinking, Nisei Monogatari, more like Nodsi Monogatari. However, I don't mind as much. The dialogue is still engaging and manages to distract from it. So I'm perfectly fine with it, perfectly fine with it, perfectly fine with it.
FBI, open up!